Hi everybody, I'm Josh.
And I'm Heather, and we are from Try Hard Enthusiast on Instagram. It's terrible because I just had to think of what our Instagram page was called for a second.
It's been a while.
I just had a brain fart. You know how
that
my
too.
brain doesn't work. But we are here with another pickup video. Not even going to talk about time because we already know how that works out.
Yeah.
So
Even though it really isn't as much stuff.
we say that every time.
I know.
Alright, starting off with PS4, PS5.
Yeah. And first up we have Final Fantasy VIII Remastered. This is a PAL copy. Yeah.
Yep.
Because it was cheap.
Well, also because we did not get it in the States.
And we got digital.
That doesn't fucking count. Alright. What do we got? So from Limited Run, finally got in our copy of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World because, yeah, this is the reason why everybody has an argument on why we should have physical games. Because...
That's one of the reasons.
Wait, hold. Fuck!
It's loose.
God damn it.
We'll fix that later.
But that used to be a 360, and I can't remember if it was on the PS3 store, but
I think it was.
it was on there for a while, got delisted, and pretty much became a PT of like people selling their systems that had that copy on it.
Yep. And if you deleted it, you could not reinstall it.
Re-download it now.
Next up we have Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne. This is the remaster. HD remaster. Yeah, Shin Megami.
Flying
Game
right,
everybody loves to say they played but never actually played.
flying right through these. So next, this was actually a game. Okay, so it's, I'm probably gonna butcher it. Yeah. Beyond Chronos. This was a game that we had originally seen on the Oculus Quest, and I didn't realize that it actually was on the PlayStation, in which it is, but of course, no English release, English physical, so Japanese copy, it's supposed to have English. So, yeah, mechs in VR, because why don't we have more of these games?
Yep. You want to do this one?
Sure.
Uh,
So another import buy, because we did not get an English release, is the End of Eternity, which in the States is called Resonance of Fate. This is the Korean version because it has English, Japanese does not. And I'm wondering if that means drugs, because if so, why isn't that our symbol on US stuff? It's a little syringe.
Yeah, what the hell is this one? It looks like,
Sexual content, maybe?
I guess.
Violence?
It's a hand with like the male-female symbol next to it. It's interesting.
I'm probably not gonna zoom in because of faces. But, I don't know, you get the point. It's got really, really cool warning labels on it, but yeah.
Arrows attacking people. Warning, arrows.
So that is a good side note though, is if you didn't get a English copy in the States of a game, typically the Korean copies of games has English from what
Yeah.
I've gathered.
PlayAsia is a really good spot for English copies of games that we don't get, or just physical copies of games that we don't get,
Yep.
like the Final Fantasy 7 and 8
Dual pack.
dual pack with both games on it. That's the other thing. We'll get games that have one of the two on the cart. Over there, they're both on the cart, so
Yeah.
makes it easier. Next up for the PS5, we got Ratchet and Clank, Rift Apart. This came late because Amazon sucks,
They do.
but
I mean, you pay for stuff to come out on release, and
they did better than Square Enix because my copy of Final Fantasy VII Intergrade is still on its way across the United States. They shipped it the day it released for whatever reasons.
I don't know. And then the last game for the PS5, kind of a weeby looking game, kind of dark, but it's Void Terrarium for the PS5. This had a PS4 version and I think was originally released on the Vita, but That looked pretty cool.
I never would have pronounced that.
The only reason why I know is because I've heard people say it, and yeah. Real quick before you do those, I'm gonna talk about them, but I'm gonna put video in, like input B-roll. For PS3, we did not actually get any games this time, but we did end up with a PlayStation 3D display TV that we actually had during the last pickup video, but forgot to completely even mention it. And then come to find out, there was actually a PlayStation soundbar marketed for the PS3. Like the actual packaging has the same colors and markings and everything. So yeah, got both of those. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, they're sitting right here. But
yeah, off this side.
not picking them up because they're fragile.
Yeah, the display actually was shipped from a store in Roanoke, Virginia that we've gone and visited a couple times, and then the soundbar, I think it came from New York or New Jersey. It wasn't that far, but even still, it's like...
It's decent sized soundbar. I gotta look into it, but I don't think that the TV is mountable, which is annoying. Unless they have a special mount for it. It doesn't have the VESA mounts, so Visa, VESA, whatever the fuck they're called.
Yeah, but it's all good.
It's just a little wobbly. Next up, we have some PS2 games that we picked up at a local game store that we just found out about. It opened last July, they said?
Yeah.
And we heard about it 2 weeks ago.
From someone who actually isn't, like, she wants to get into gaming, but she isn't an avid gamer right now.
Yeah. The worst part about this is it's like a block away from the beach and the resort community, so parking was horrible.
Yeah, if you know anything about Rehoboth, because it's in Rehoboth, it's right off the main drag. If you know anything about that area, don't come in the summer. Please don't. Stay home.
But we took in a bunch of trades, got a really cool game that you'll see in a little bit. But we also picked up for the PS2 Secret Agent Clank, which I didn't even know was on the PS2 until I saw it on the shelf. So we have the PSP copy up there.
We have two.
We have two of them. And this is fully complete. So that was a nice little pickup. And then while I was there, on the way there I was talking about Burnout. And they had Burnout 2 and 3 for the PS2.
It's funny you mentioned that,
them
because on the way there we were talking about different games that we were thinking about looking for.
But this is 2 in it, yeah.
And we both end up finding games that we mentioned on the way.
I can't believe that you found that one. Like, that's so obscure.
No, did you find it? No,
I found the other one.
After they did the trade. So next we're kind of gonna bebop back and forth because there's a lot of handheld games that I picked up that
I know nothing about.
Yeah, and some other kind of cool retro stuff.
Yep.
But first, I'll go ahead and get the Switch games out of the way. Had to pick up World End Syndrome. I recorded and played the demo. I wanted to stream it the day it came out, but yeah, we've just been so busy between work and stuff at home that just haven't had the energy to really work on it.
Yeah.
I do eventually want to stream that because it's really interesting to start off with, and I can tell the gameplay is going to be pretty cool too.
Yeah. Speaking of things we've been busy with.
Yeah.
Oh.
Might as well show him off since he's not gonna...
Since he's gonna be right here. We got us a new kitty. His name is Stubbs because he has no tail.
Well, he's got a little...
He got a stub.
Little stubby nub.
He's a Manx. He's talkative.
That's all he does is chit-chat and talk.
No, you're not getting on the table.
Try to bully our other, more resident cat, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah.
But getting back to the games, the other Switch game is, I'm guessing it's K's and the Wild Masks. This has been compared to Donkey Kong Country from what I've seen.
Really?
I got it because
I thought it'd been more like a Banjo-Tooie.
Well, I got it because it reminded me of Klonoa.
Oh yeah, that's...
Like the character looked like Klonoa.
That's old school platformer right there.
But yeah, it's just a side-scrolling platform kind of game.
So for the Master System, we picked up Ys the Vanished Omens, which I believe is the second one.
No, that's the first.
Is it?
I don't know. The Ys games are so weird as far as what order they go in, because
Yeah.
between the fact that they're not necessarily always numbered,
It's loose.
but you've got some games that were originally like a certain number and then remastered as another number and
Yeah.
redone as another. It's
Yeah.
it's quite fucked.
But it is complete. The manual's a little stained, but
I think we got that off of eBay, if I'm not mistaken.
yes, that was an eBay purchase.
So, I don't believe I showed these in the last video, but I did mention that I'd gotten another PS Vita to mod in order to run Japanese games, emulate ROMs. That's what I was thinking. Brain was not working. Which that's had its hiccups in itself. It's easy,
Yeah.
but it's not, depending on what you tried. Yeah, that's a whole nother discussion. But I went ahead and picked up some Japanese games to go ahead and actually have a usage for it. So one of the first ones is Chaos Ring 3, which is a Square Enix RPG. Technically it has the first two and the prequel on it, but the first two and the prequel are a download code, so I can either just put the ROMs on itself to be able to play it, or make a Japanese account in order to download them.
So next up, from our local store that we found, we picked up a copy of Aero the Acrobat, which we've already had the game, but they had the box and the game with it and manual.
No, I just got the manual.
Oh, you bought the manual?
Yep,
Okay.
I bought the manual.
So we
off
have the
eBay.
manual here, but this is now complete, so our other cartridge will end up being traded in.
Yeah, I just threw the manual in there because I didn't want it to
Yeah.
get lost
It's not in the best of shape, but it's still cool to have another complete game.
for the Genesis, because we don't have that many, honestly.
No, and some of the ones we have are some of the more expensive ones.
Which we'll kind of touch on a little bit later. So another Japanese Vita game that I picked up is Uppers. This is supposed to be a beat 'em up style game. I think almost in the same vein, like beat 'em up style, like Yakuza or Kenka Bancho, where it's sort of open worldish. That's like one of the
Those
few
screenshots
games.
are so tiny.
Yeah, well, it's a Vita card. Oh, I forgot. Because this is cool, and we don't get this ever. It has a fucking manual in it.
Oh my gosh.
Granted, by manual, it does actually talk about stuff, but it also doubles as, like, a character guide. In Japanese, so I can't read it, but...
That's why I was Google Translate.
But still, the fact
You know it's
that...
wrong half the time.
Yeah. The fact that it has a manual is amazing to me.
It's a rare occurrence. And then, from our local store, one of the games she's most excited about, we got Math Blaster for the Genesis.
Man, I used to play the shit out of that game on the computer when I was younger, and I don't know why, but lately I've had an obsession with wanting to get it.
Yeah, it is not complete. This is the game that we were talking about on the way there. And now just sitting on the shelf, it's like, really?
And actually, the manual should be here in like a day or two.
I'm not surprised.
Between that and Aero the Acrobat, there was one each on eBay for sale, and I'm like, fuck it, I need it. They were cheap.
Okay.
I mean, I don't like wait on manuals when I can find them, because a lot of times when you find manuals, there might be one listed, and that's the only one you'll see for a couple months. But the last Japanese Vita game is a Legend of Heroes. I cannot remember the full title for it, but yeah, it's like one of the few that actually has a Japanese fan translation for English. That one does not have a manual.
And then our last Genesis game, which is fully complete with the map and everything. This was an eBay purchase. It is Phantasy Star 3. The Generations of Doom. It is a little damaged on the back. The cover is ripped.
Yeah, which we didn't sadly notice that.
Yeah, because I only had a picture of the front.
Of course.
Because, of course, it did. But it was pretty cheap, so I'm happy to add it to the collection. I think we are down to 1 Phantasy Star DVD.
Yes,
Yeah.
Phantasy Star and the Master System.
Yep, because we have 2, 3, and 4.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that and then the Phantasy Star Online Switch. We have some of them.
Switch? Phantasy Star?
Phantasy Star Online. There was one on the Dreamcast and
GameCube. I thought you said on the Switch. That's why I was
No.
confused. So I'll go ahead and I got a couple of PSP games. I'll do this one first. So I picked up a complete sealed copy of Work Time Fun. This is
That's not how you say that.
It's WTF, but it stands for Work Time Fun. Even says Work Time Fun on the side. But this is a sealed game. It's very reminiscent of like WarioWare and those like really quick party game style games. I went ahead and picked this up with the logic that with the PSP store going down, this is a very obscure game. You don't see it that often. I got it for $30 sealed. I know that's not gonna stay at that price for very long. It's gonna shoot up. Then the other game that I got, I need to clean this one up because it looks like it was a GameStop copy at one point. It's an Atlas game, so that already tells you it's stupid expensive. I'm not necessarily happy for how much I paid for this, but I got a copy of, what's the full title? Monster Kingdom Jewel Summoner. So it's a Pokemon style monster capture game. Yeah, this is complete. This one never goes down in price. I found one that actually had the manual that I didn't feel like was worth an arm and a leg. So kind of like Ken Cabancho, I jumped on it real quick before the price went up on that one.
And then, so like I mentioned earlier, we took trades into our local store that we discovered, and we spent almost all of it on one game.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I can't remember how many games we brought in, but we got like almost $215 in store credit. To the point where it's like, I can either get this and a couple more games, or I can get this and a couple few. We went with the latter.
Yeah. And the reason for that is we picked up a like pretty much mint copy
Pretty much immaculate copy when you talk
of
about
The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess on the GameCube.
Notice it is already in a plastic case.
Yes, this was behind the counter, and like we were looking at it, and the guy's like, "Yeah, like look at this disc," and he pulled it off. As soon as he opened it, it's like, "That's ours." Before he even pulled the disc out, it's like, "That's ours."
Taking it home.
So
because they had it listed for $150, and I know that that game's pretty top dollar right now, so it's starting to get to the range of prices that I wouldn't just straight up buy it.
yeah, and I'm looking forward to playing this. I've not played this one because I hate the motion controls on the Wii for these games.
You could have played on the Wii U.
You still use motion controls.
You have the gamepad or the Pro Controller.
Anyway, awesome game.
Alright, next we've got a couple, like 2 more handheld things, a couple more retro stuff. First, picked up Golden Sun Dark Dawn? Yeah, Dark Dawn. Complete for the DS. Wanted to go ahead and get the rest of the series kind of done and out of the way, because also DS games are starting to really shoot up in price lately.
As are everything. Good. And then we picked up a copy of Super Mario Kart Complete.
I don't know how we didn't already have that.
I don't know.
They're all back there
Oh
now.
yeah, they're hidden now. But it's always fun to add another complete Super Nintendo game.
Picked that up from a Instagram friend too, which is always fun. On Instagram, there's a couple people that post multiple deals and sales, and one of the things that keeps kind of popping in and out of stock are the refurbished 2DS systems on the Nintendo website. And I managed to go ahead and pick up one of the blue ones because I want to really get one version of every handheld, and this was one of the ones that we didn't have. So to have one that technically has a box, it's kind of cool.
Technically.
I'm mad because I missed out on the Zelda one.
No.
They had it for all of 5 minutes, I think.
And this is a fan trade translated sale, right? This isn't an official copy?
It's a fan translation because it is a game that we did not get in the States.
Yes. And that is Live a Live. Yeah. Bought this from Instagram.
There's a guy who has his own business now of doing repro games. And I know repro games can be kind of taboo, but when it comes to stuff that we never got a US copy of, I can definitely back it. And you can definitely tell that those games, because he's done it a little bit before, these games are definitely passion projects for him. Because they come with posters, stickers, dust cover, full color manuals, the whole 9 yards, so it looks like an official release. So that's definitely well appreciated.
Yep.
Do you want me to do these guys, get them out of the way?
Sure.
So there's one item that I had back when I worked at GameStop as a promo item, and it was when Eternal Sonata came out. I had this exact faceplate from when I'd bought in the 360 game, and completely forgot that there was multiple versions of it. So I found somebody on eBay that had all of them for sale. Granted, they were all in different lots. And I just realized these were manufactured by Hori. No wonder why they're nice. But I decided to buy all of them and get them to put them in a shadow box as a display because Eternal Sonata is one of my favorite games. So we have Polka, Frederick Chopin, Allegretto or Retto, and then we have Beat and March, and
whatever his name is.
No, Salsa and March, and that's Beat.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I plan on putting these all in a shadow box to display them because, I mean, just like the game, the artwork is absolutely gorgeous on them.
It is.
So we can just leave these guys up here for right now. Alright. Pick something. What do you want to do?
Well, we'll start with this. Which, this goes along with something else we got, but...
Yeah.
We have the soundtrack for Samurai Jack, Battle Through Time.
Which, that is part of the limited run collector's edition, which I will put B-roll in just because it's got a really cool looking figure. But, I was curious on how the box was packaged, opened it up, and there was 2 soundtracks in my box. Which, unfortunately, I don't feel like that's ever gonna affect the value, because, I mean, it's open,
It's just an extra soundtrack, which means we could open one of them and listen to it if we want to.
I almost thought that said X. Like sex.
I glanced at that for a second there, I thought the same thing, so...
The bottom track. You really gotta look at that. Makes you do a double take.
Yeah. Put it out.
can do this one. So last time, what was the last time? One of the past videos we showed Brave Fencer Musashi.
Yeah, it was
and
2 videos ago.
I was actually able, there we go, to find the demo disc that goes in that game. So now I'm down to just finding the manual, and then I will have a complete copy of Brave Fencer Musashi for pennies on the dollar, pretty much, which is always appreciative.
So next up we got some strategy guides and some odds and ends. Mostly strategy guides. So this one here is obsessed with Sandwich Islands Publishing, which they do quite a few guides, or had quite a few guides.
And I've realized
And they're very
some of them were actually really nice looking, and I was surprised because, like I mentioned before, I had the Pokemon one. That's complete jank, and I love it.
yeah. Like these are guides that you could tell were made by a couple of people, and they didn't really edit them very well, which is kind of great. But we picked up the Castlevania Sympathy of the Night guide and the Metal Gear Solid one. They're actually pretty useful guides. They're just, you gotta read between the lines.
I was about to say, they're nice and entertaining. I'm gonna do two things real quick. So one of the things I picked up was a Retro Antique 2X Mini. Decided to go ahead and pick this up for recording footage for like N64. I mostly got it for the PSP.
Yeah.
But any older
component
system with the component. And these are supposed to be like super latent free, which the little bit of testing I did with it, after I realized I'm a dumbass and I need to not look at the OBS screen when I'm playing games.
Yes.
After I realized that, it is very, very good, very lag free. This, I don't necessarily want to unfold it because
I wouldn't.
it has seen better days, but it's still in pretty good condition. This here is the poster slash, I think it's a monster guide from Robotrek. This was like the one thing I needed to have that game be complete.
And then to go along with magazine type things, we picked up the original NES Endings Compendium.
Which there's more than one.
Yes, this is years 1985 to 1988. Pretty much just shows like screenshots and the story of how all the games end during that time frame for the NES.
Cool little table book.
It has really, really nice pictures, like really good screen grabs, and it's pretty well done. Which this was by...
I don't remember who it's by, honestly. Ooh, it's got Blaster Master in it.
Yeah.
Flip to the front again. That one.
Ray Esteban.
Yeah. Which I almost feel like he did other books that are on Amazon. Do you want to do that one real quick, and then I'll do this?
Sure.
Because
The last, well, almost the last strategy guide. She picked up the Golden Sun and Golden Sun: The Lost Age strategy guide. These are for DS, right?
no, Game Boy
No,
Advance.
Game Boy Advance. But both games in one book. It's always good to get.
And that's another guide. Other than the fact that it was in really nice shape, I went ahead and picked it up because the price on that's starting to go up, surprisingly.
Yeah. It's in better shape than the one that I have on the way.
Which, by the way, did that ship yet?
Yes, it has shipped.
Oh, okay.
It is on the way. It will be in the next video.
It's expensive.
It will probably be going into some kind of protector if we can find one.
That's one thing I want to look for, is if there's strategy guide protectors. Which there was someone on YouTube, I'll have to find his video. He managed to find something, but he's in the UK.
I'm sure it's probably similar to how they protect comic books, where it's just hard backing with a plastic baggie
True.
on it.
That probably wouldn't be a bad idea for some of our not hardback books. But the last thing that I have before, I guess we've got one more collector's edition to show off.
Yeah.
So there's a collector's edition that has an item that I've wanted for a very long time, and I picked up the Japanese copy on the DS, and that would be for Ni no Kuni and the White Witch. If you've looked on eBay at all or Amazon, you know that that collector's edition is fucking expensive.
Very.
And that is because of this item right here, and it's the only item that I wanted out of the collector's edition, because honestly we have the regular game and the greatest hits already. I don't care about the plushie or the cards. I just wanted this because this is the Wizard's Companion, and I mean, it is pretty much like lore for the game. It's a strategy guide. It's a bestiary. Like, this is just as good as the Prima guide that came out. And there's actually, I'm not sure where at, but there are some sections in the book, if I'm not mistaken, that in order to find like secrets or Easter eggs, you have to look inside of this book. At least for the Japanese copy. I don't know if the English is the same way, but either way, I mean, look, it even has like the little wand movements for the spells. So, or sorry, the runes for the spells. Which I think for the DS game was actually how you did them. But yeah, this, I'm not proud of how much I paid for it, but yeah.
She looked at these for a long time before she pulled the trigger.
I did. I bid on one that I should have kept bidding, because then I could have gotten it for a little cheaper than what I got that one for. But yeah, hunt's over.
Yep. That is the way of the eBay.
And then I guess, do you want to mention this guy? Might as well keep it rolling since it's the last one.
Yeah. Well, as we already mentioned, we got the Samurai Jack limited run collector's edition, which both their B-roll in there somewhere. But then the other one, which is staying closed.
Nah.
Picked up the Biomutant collector's edition. This is just a collector's edition. This is not the one that has the massive diorama. I want it, but I'm waiting for that price to drop. Yeah.
I mean, it's a nice looking figure. We just haven't...
It's a very nice figure.
We'll take it out for B-roll because I think you got to put them together a little bit. But we've just kind of been holding off taking a lot of figures out of the boxes because we have, like, no lie, we have not had space to put any figures out in a little while.
That's the reason why I've not gotten the bigger one, and the reason why I'm not buying the Ridley Alpha figure first right now, because it's back up for pre-orders. And it's too big to put anywhere else in the house.
Yeah. Yeah, we thought about that.
I considered it very, very heavily.
But yeah, like we said, that's all we got this time. Really wasn't much more than what we normally have. I think we've been spacing them out every
It was a
couple
little
weeks.
less this time.
Yeah.
There's more on the way. It just hasn't gotten here yet. It would have been here. And then there's more even after that. So
Yeah, there's
we got a lot of pre-orders coming.
a lot of pre-orders coming in. I was looking at Amazon today. My wallet cries every time I think of the month of July. Because Jesus Christ, there is a lot of stuff coming out in July that we need to pre-order. But yeah, that's all we got this time for our pickup video. If you like our content, make sure that you subscribe to our videos. go ahead and turn on notifications, just because we post so sporadically. At least then you notice or see. I cannot talk. You at least see that we posted a video.
Yes.
And also comment, like, for our more up-to-date content. Be sure to follow us on Instagram. It's Tryhard Enthusiast, just like our YouTube handle. And that's where we post more up-to-date, intimate stuff on our collection.
Yep.
So, yeah.
You'll get to see all the stuff as it comes in, pretty much.
For the most part. Between that and any kind of like collection bundles that we have of multiple games and that kind of stuff. But until next time, guys. See ya.